this morning, give some encouragement and a alert, sort of the things that are happening right now. The world seems to be in dire straits. It's headed for World War III, and most of the things that you see is mostly orchestrated. Um, I'll try to keep everything, my words, to a minimum because I don't want the aneurysms catching me. But a lot of the things that you see is ridiculously, I call it ridiculous. It's all sort of planned that way. See, Satan's not omnipresent. Omnipresent means everywhere at one time. Omnipotent means all-knowing. Um, he is all-knowing. He's all-powerful. All-powerful means he has all the power to do whatever he wants to do. See, Satan is trying to mimic the same thing. Satan's trying to create the same atmosphere. And when I first heard about the New World Order, I thought most of the things that they were doing was not, well, was planned but not orchestrated. So now I'm seeing that everything's orchestrated, everything, because Satan doesn't have the power to make things happen. But remember, he went to God to ask, can he put his hands on Job? Because if he put his hands on Job, then Job would break from God. If he put hard things in Job's life, Job would break from God. And Satan was able to kill his whole family. He was able to take all of his stuff. So Satan does have power. Matter of fact, he has power to control the weather, because a tornado is the one that killed his family. But Satan does not. He's not all powerful. He's not. Because he has to answer to God. Evidently, he has to go. He has to go ask God, "Can I do this, or could I do that?" But Satan is the prince of the power of the air. He is in charge down here to a certain point. He's in charge to a certain point. And when the church is gone, or the church is raptured, he'll have total control of what he wants to do. But with that being said, all this stuff is orchestrated. Everything you see, from the wars to the thing for the lasted 2 years and we're all locked down, to the AI. See, AI is it's computerized, highly sophisticated algorithms, and it's almost like a sort of think, but he can never articulate. He can never make it like a human. Humans are intelligent, but AI can be just as much intelligent, because AI can handle more things at one time. But AI has flaws, and the devil knows that AI has flaws. So that's why he has to hire all of these agents, and IRS has hired another 87,000, making a grand total of 166,000 agents. And then he's hiring all these agents, and he's just not hiring agents in America. He's hiring agents everywhere. And everything's in unity because they follow in their father. They follow in Satan. Satan's in charge of all of this stuff. You ever seen a pyramid, and they got all the organizations, and then at the top is Satan. Satan is in charge of everything. So he doesn't know everything. So you're going to have these IRS people. They're going to be trained to bring you and I, or whoever's left, after the rapture in front of the courts. And it's not going to be a pretty picture, folks. It's not going to be a pretty picture at all. You know, you watch these Christian movies, you watch these end time movies, and there's somewhere to hide. I'm pretty sure there's going to be places to hide. God is going to make it so people can get, get some places to hide. But there's, people are going to get caught. You're going to get caught. People are going to get caught. I was driving along the other day, and I saw some woods, some forest, and it's kind of deep down. It's like in a bowl. And I was thinking people can hide down there if they don't go down there, often. And I was wondering why the homeless people don't go down there. And I guess it's because they don't want to. Well, anyway, and Mark 13:14, actually Mark 13:9, it says, "But take heed to yourself, for they shall deliver you up to the council, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before the rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them." Then it says, "And the gospel must first be preached among all nations, but when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do ye premeditate, but whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that ye speak, for it is not you speaking, but the Holy Spirit." So in the times that we live in now, we can see that they're saying things out cold, out blank. They're saying things already. I was just watching a few minutes ago before I got here. I'm actually at a place where it's called Arrowhead Heights Day, when they celebrate, and they got old cars that and they got fireworks, and they got things where the kids can play at, and so we have this every year. But the mark of the beast technology is here already. Matter of fact, President Biden signed 14067, a bill to get rid of cash. And that bill to get rid of cash is supposed to be dated for December 13th, 2022. But there's a lot of things that are pointing to September as being the date that God is going to intervene back in history. And the tribulation period has a possibility of starting this year. Now, it could also start next year. I don't know. It seems like to me that they're getting things in gear, and they don't want to delay their 2030 agenda. The 2030 agenda is fast forwarding. They're not going to wait that long to do that. Now, as far as the Shemitah cycles fall straight in line with the Agenda 30. Matter of fact, the Agenda 30, they want to accomplish all of this stuff by 2030. Don't let them fool you. They're not saying that we want to start doing these things. They say they want to accomplish these things by 2030. So that is something to think about. I think we kind of we got to listen to what they're saying. We got to listen to what the enemy is saying and what he's trying to do. And the enemy is not trying to start Agenda 30 at 2030. They're trying to accomplish all those goals by that time. At least that's my understanding. I mean, I could be wrong. Um, so it looks like war in the Middle East is brewing. Like I said before, most of this stuff is orchestrated. There's no reason for United States to be signing a Iran deal and at the same time hitting Iran. Does that ever make any sense to you guys? I think the rationale is thrown out of the window. A lot of the rationale from the Democratic Party is thrown right out the window. And when it looks like they don't know what they're doing, they actually know what they're doing. And a lot of people think Biden, they think they're screwing this stuff up, and they are screwing it up on purpose. But that's their strength. And it's almost a New World Order strength, order out of chaos. But in this case, in the Democratic case, it's order out of confusion. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're making people think they don't know what they're doing, but in fact they know what they're doing. It's preposterous when you see them in Syria and America is hitting Iran targets, and you ask why. If you're sitting at the table, which is a messed up, screwed up table, somebody was talking about why did Trump get put out of office. And like I said before, Shemitah cycles, God raises up leaders and brings them down. Anyway, his son-in-law was trying to get a two-state solution as well. That's why he was taken out of office. You cannot divide Jerusalem and think you're gonna do something. You're gonna make, you're gonna succeed by. That's not a good idea. And the way Biden's treated, and nobody made the connection. There's a brother that made a book called "As America Does to Israel," and his last name is Kohler. I forgot his last name. Anyway, he made a book. Every time America double crosses Israel, something happens in America. I hate to say it, but I hate to say those tornadoes or those storms floods that were in Kentucky had something to do with it. But I don't know. I didn't check the timing on it or anything like that. But it seems like that's what we're trying to do again. We're trying to divide. We're trying to do it again. Now the UN platform is to try to divide Israel this coming fall. I don't know, because they do it every year. Okay, so the UN has specific agendas every year, like the Peace and Safety Day, National Peace and Safety Week, which it still falls on September 13th to the September 27th of this year. And it's a Peace and Safety Week. And for some reason, they're going to call peace and safety. And I believe if that's the case, the way I'm looking at everything, now some people disagree, that's fine, is that if I have a couple scenarios, and one of my scenarios is Ezekiel 38 and 39 happening at exactly the time of the Feast of Trumpets. Another one of my scenarios is it happens before the Feast of Trumpets. And another one of my scenarios is it happens as soon as the Feast of Trumpets is done. So when they blow that last trumpet, Russia's invaded. So it can happen anyway, okay? But Russia has countries that are surrounding, Israel. Israel has countries that are surrounding it. And those are not mentioned in Ezekiel 38 and 39. So I'm thinking in the next couple of days, weeks, not too many weeks, Israel will get into it with Iran and then get into it with its proxies. and then you have um, that little app on your phone going crazy. You know, you have to be going crazy, and you're like, oh man, it's about to happen, because it's going to be going real crazy, because they'll be shooting all kinds of rockets over in Israel. But Israel has to take out Iran's nuclear facilities, because the word is out that Iran has the capability of making a bomb, a nuclear bomb. And I think they have the capability to do it by now. That's why Israel is over there firing with the United States. Which I said before, I don't understand why the United States is doing it, if they are sitting at the table with Iran. But Israel's doing it because you know why they're doing it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. Israel can't afford to give Iran a chance to hit them with a nuclear bomb. But as the world does to Israel, as the world gets. Those who bless Israel will be blessed. Those who curse Israel will be cursed. That is the words out of God's mouth, not mine. I know some of the people that come on this channel came from another channel practically, and they're going to disagree with what I'm saying, because some people are post-tribbers. Post-trib, you know why people are post-trib most of the time? Because of what they do to Israel. Whatever you think about Israel, that's probably what you're getting. You know, that's probably where you're coming from. Is how you treat Israel. Is how you treat Israel. Is probably are you post or mid? A lot of people. I know this one guy. He came on my show before, and he can't stand Israel. Everything that comes out of his mouth is something bad about Israel, and that's something where he has to deal with that himself. This person's standing in front of me, looking at me, thinking I'm talking to myself. I mean, it's like the 21st century. Don't you think by now people understand you got a cell phone right in front of me? I don't know about all of that Jew stuff, man. I'm so sick of this stuff, man. I know what you. I don't know. I don't know what you trying to. Yeah, there are certain types of Jews, but we're in this position right now, man. You either ready for God to come or you're not. I mean, you either believe it or you don't. I mean, I don't, like I said before, I'm not smart enough to sit around here. I'm not patient enough to sit around here and talk about different stuff. You either got it or you don't. You either born again or you're not. You either looking for Jesus Christ to come or you're not. You're looking for the Antichrist. You either mixed up with those are the Zionist Jews or all of this other stuff, or you're for the Jews or you're not. I mean, I know there's fake Jews out there, but I don't. That's not for me to tell. I'm not going around doing DNA tests. I'm good. I'm so sick of this stuff, man. How many angels? The Bible talks about vain conversations and jousting and joking around and not taking God seriously and thinking everything is a conspiracy and thinking Israel's, everybody. I don't know. I just know that Israel has a prime minister. They have a Congress, like we got a Congress. They got to vote once in a while for their prime minister. That's all I know. They got an awesome military. They have people who are patriotic in their country as well. But as far as Ashkenazi Jews or whatever the heck you just said, I don't know. I don't even try to figure that out. It ain't for me to figure it out. I just go for the state of Israel, and I pray for God's people. I pray for God's people to come to Jesus, and I pray for Americans to come to Jesus as well. I pray for the people in Ukraine to come to Jesus. I pray for the people in Africa to come to Jesus. I have a blog talk radio program that's able to reach Africa over there. And I don't care about all of that. The most of the world who think like that, man, is gonna be surprised in a little short time. I don't have the time for it. I just know God is my savior. Jesus is my savior, And his people is Israel, and his people is also the people of the church. And fellow believers all across the world are looking for Christ to return, and a lot of believers around the world fall asleep and have no idea if Jesus Christ is coming back or not. But I do believe that the war will break out sometime in the next couple of days or weeks. And I don't really know if it's going to be a pause there and then Russia will invade, or does Russia invade a little bit later? And but here's the deal. A lot of people say that the tribulation period begins at the Feast of Trumpets. I don't think so. I think if you read carefully, it says, for the day of the Lord should come as a thief in the night. And I think the thief in the night is the rapture of the church. So I think, I believe that the rapture will begin the day of the Lord, but the Antichrist signing the peace agreement will start the tribulation period. And he doesn't have to sign it on 9/27 like some people think. He can sign it on atonement. He can sign it after atonement. He can sign it sometime in November. The tribulation period can start in November. I don't know. It doesn't have to. It can start all. It can start in the next 90 days. It can start next year too, or the year after that. But for the most part, as I see, as far as the Shemitah cycles is concerned, the day of the Lord comes with the rapture of the church. So if anything happens on the Feast of Trumpets, it'll be the rapture, and then I just killed a bug, and then the tribulation period to start after that. Now the tribulation period could start. It could start. I'm not saying it can't, but it could start on the Feast of Trumpets. But I doubt it. I think the rapture will happen, if it happens this year, on the Feast of Trumpets, and then the tribulation period will start sometime in the next 20 to 30 days after that. Pure speculation. Most of the stuff is pure speculation. No, I'm not a prophet, and I don't deem to be a prophet. But I know that time is short. You know, I see a lot of people out here getting ready to have a good time. It's kind of windy today. I don't know why it's so windy. People out here having to look like they're going to have a good time whenever this thing starts. They all setting up for this. They have it every year. It looks the same every year. So anyway, God bless you guys. I just want to keep this at 23 minutes, 24 minutes. I'll be back on a little bit. I'll keep doing videos until Christ comes, or I choke on the bone, or I die. But anyway, God bless you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. See y'all later.